Good morning, everybody. So I have here trays, six trays, six, yeah, six, no, seven trays that I prepared yesterday afternoon because I have a massive resin day planned. I have taken out so many of my molds, almost all of them. This for me is an out of this world project. If you're new here, hi, my name is Dell, and welcome to Handmade. So, the star of today's show will be these two iridescent mica powders. I have some iridescent glitter, and I have some solid white pigment, colorful resin, and this is black mica powder. I wasn't able to find the black version of this thing here, the pigment. But the theme of today's video is out of this world. So so I will be making I'll be trying to get the nebula effect on those tiny pieces, as you will see. I also have 2-part epoxy resin. These are just my condiment bottles. Right, so these are my condiment bottles because I bought the resin in gallon bottles because it's more economical that way. I'm just using these bottles because it's easier to work with this size. So yep, that's the plan for today. And I'm doing all of this because I've been wanting to make more items, but I just feel like whenever I start, I feel like I need something else and I don't have it already made. And yeah, it kind of throws me off. So what I have decided to do is for the next maybe 10 or so videos, or for the 10 or so resin sessions, I'm going to make a lot of one theme type of resin pieces, and then I will have an abundance from which to choose from so that I can mix and match and so on and so forth. So that is the plan, and I hope you stay along for this journey because I'm excited for that. I haven't done this one in particular. I haven't tried to achieve nebula effect any at all in the past. So this one will be new and it will be interesting. I think the results will be interesting. Either way, it will be interesting and it's a little bit risky. For now, the plan is to try at least 3 different techniques to get the nebula look. And so I will take you along with me. So yeah, come along. Alright, you guys, it has been a few hours since we last spoke. So it is now maybe 10 minutes, about 10 minutes to 11 o'clock. And it is hot. The morning is now hot. So I know I will have to move very quickly with the resin. Alright, so let me just explain what is going on. So this tray, I am going to be trying 5 different techniques, so to speak, or I'll be trying to get 5 different results in this mold. So I have some color shifting mica powder. I showed you these earlier, and that's mentioned that these are going to be the star of the show. Well, I since went and got me some more mica powders and color shifting ones and regular ones. And what I have done is I have added some other color shifting colors, and in other molds I've added mica powders too, and some glitter, the same glitter that I showed you earlier in some of the molds. So for this particular mold, I'm trying 5 different finishes. So for these two, I'm going to do the black, and then for this one white, for these two white. So for these 4, I've added the different color shifting colors and the glitters to them. These ones I'm not adding anything to them. I'm just going to mix the mix the resin, mix the color shifting powders in the resin themselves, and then pour them. So this, I'm going to put purple, this one blue, and then for these two, I'm doing two. So these two purple, these two blue, and these two, I'm going to do a mix of the blue and the purple to see if I can get the different colors. It should work. And for this mold, I prepared this mold with color shifting resin. It took so long to do this, but I have in here blue, purple, and a little bit of green. I don't know if they're gonna come out looking like twins, but we'll see. Because this mold is an earring mold, so I would like for them to look. I'd like for the pairs to at least look similar. So I am going to just demonstrate to you. I'm just gonna move this aside. I'm gonna prepare one of this just to show you how I go about preparing it. So I'm gonna do the blue and the purple, and I use this. I don't know if I showed you these before, so I'm gonna use these as well. So what all I do is I get a little bit on the brush, and I okay. It's always so awkward to film. And then I'm just gonna dust try my best to just dust it. It's coming out in a little blob now. Quite a bit of it came out in a blob. I did this earlier as well. Oh no, that's not working out. Yeah, that's how I did. Some of them came out in a little bit of a blob, and others came out fine. So I don't know how it's gonna look. So we just have to wait and see. And this mold, they have matching pairs on the opposite side. So that's what's going on here. Alright, let me do another one. Alright, and then the last thing to do is to take the I just switched the brush, but it's really not necessarily not necessary. So I am going to just I'm trying to get the smallest. This pack of glitter, it has various different sizes, but I want the smallest, the finest one. Actually cannot find my favorite glitter. That is iridescent. This one is iridescent. My favorite one is iridescent, but it is so fine and it's just perfect. I can't find it. And I also cannot find my favorite color shifting colors. Well, two of them. So I figured that all of my favorite things are in one place because I use them a lot. I think I use them for nearly every resin project. Find some way to to incorporate them. So I may have them in a little caddy somewhere. And I looked around. I didn't see them. I know that they're not too far away because our space is very small and mostly organized. It's mostly organized. So yes, I need one of that big one there. I need one in it just because. So I'm just going through with some fine glitters. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so this should be enough. I think I have it in everyone now. So yeah, this is all right. So this is how I do it, and I think there is, just get this out of the way. There is one more container. I mean, one more mold that I am going to do this with some of the pieces so that I can put black over it, and just so that I get a mix with it. So yeah, so that's this is done. Oh, I also feel like for the little pendants, I feel like I should make at least a couple of them looking with the black. I think so. Even though the focus is on the just these, I just feel like the black is just calling me. So I'm going to prepare a couple of these, maybe two of them. I'll do, or maybe that one, the circle, and one of the squares. Here's an oval too. I'll do these three, or maybe I'll do one in white and two in black. All right, I'll see. And then I have another mold to prepare. So I will do that, and then I will come back when it's time to pour resin. All right, you guys. So I have prepared everything, and we are now ready. This is my favorite mold of all time so far. So I wanted to make some with the black the black galaxy look thingy. All right. Oh, I wanted to show you guys too that if you have unlabeled mica powders that are color shifting, like me, you can just rub them along, rub them on your skin. Oh, right. You can just rub them on your skin and you will find out what color they are. All right. So it's time to gear up and then begin. Starting off by adding the iridescent mica powders in the smaller silicone cups that I'm also using, and then I'm pouring the resin in it to divide up the resin that way. So I have blue in one and purple in one. I have to be doing a voiceover because I sound very muffled in the respirator. So that's why I have to be doing this. I was talking the whole time, but you will no way could you understand or hear what I'm trying to communicate in with that muffled sound. But anyways, what I'm doing here is mixing the mica powder into the resin, and it was quite a bit. Um, it was a little bit challenging because the powder kept floating, and it was hard to disperse it into the liquid. And I realized that what I should have done is to pour just a small amount of resin into the on the powder, and then mix that in properly, mix that out. It would have been a lot easier for me to mix out a small amount of resin in the mica powder and then pour the rest of the resin in and just mix the two liquids together. But here I'd already poured in all the resin that I needed in a cup, and so I just had to do my best to mix it out as best as I could. And I also want to note that this time of day was very hot. I think I mentioned that earlier. It was hot now, it was midday. Or as you can look at the cup, at the top of the cup there you can see the dry powder floating, and I'm just stirring it in, and you'll see later in the when I unmold, after I poured and unmold, that some of those powder came out in the blotches. But it doesn't look too bad though. Anyways, what I was saying is that this time of day was very hot, and this was a lot of resin to work with these tiny molds. So I eventually had a little bit of a challenge. as you will see as we go along. But yeah, all I'm doing here is mixing away. I'm not done mixing because there's just I was trying my best to get all of the clumps out, the dried powder out, mixed out properly. And there I'm showing off, even though it's not coming out so clearly on the screen, but I was pretty impressed with the color, and yeah, I loved it. It's a really pretty color, although it's very difficult to show through the camera. Maybe it's because of my camera. I'm using my cheap phone to film all of this, which is the best that I can do for now. So that's what I'm doing. But at points you'll be able to see the shimmer in the resin, but yeah, for the most part it does not show through on the camera. Yeah, so that's the drawback of this camera. But yeah, that's me there pouring in the blue first. I'm starting, and I will mention that it is a lot easier to under pour first and then top up than to try and get to the exact amount that you want in each cavity for the first time, because that can be a recipe for creating mess. And I didn't do too badly with the blue. Now it's time for the purple. The resin was just mixed, so it's still pretty runny and should not. I should have a little bit of working time, but again, because it is so hot, um, things can change very quickly. There we go. I over poured right there, and I was just trying to get it into one of the other molds. That's one way to do it. The better way to do it though is to wait until the resin hardens a little bit. Not hardens, wait until it thickens up a little bit and then scoop it off. I find that that is a much better way to do the cleanup because it creates less mess. You'll see me do it. I think you'll see me do it at some point in this video because I had to do a lot of cleanup. That's what happens when you take on such a massive project like this one. But looking back and having seen the results, I don't regret it at all. In fact, I'm looking forward to the next massive resin project day. So in this, right now I'm pouring the blue and the purple. I wanted to get the goal is to get both blue and purple mixing together in each cavity to create those little purple blue iridescent shimmery hearts. But I was having a little bit of a challenge pouring in both at the same time. I think I don't remember exactly what was happening, but I eventually decided to pour one first and then the other, which is not what I intended initially. I wanted to pour them together so that they can sort of mix into each other. But yeah, it was difficult pouring both at the same time. So I tried to pour in less than halfway, then pour in the other one, leaving enough room to pour back in the first one. I was trying to find a way around what I initially intended, so that's what I decided to do. And I believe I got confused at one point because I wasn't keeping track as to which ones I'd poured only the purple in. But I think in the end it worked out fine, so nothing to worry about. The colors, even though the colors are different, they are not that different. because the two mm, powders behave the same way. They're both iridescent, as in the shift colors. So yeah, it's not a big deal. But it all worked out in the end. So that's me there trying to to clean up or to remove the excess into the molds that were short. And this is one of the biggest things when it comes down to pouring resin, the cleaning up. Resin is very messy, and cleaning up really can slow you down. So that took longer than I initially intended. So here I'm going again, and I'm pouring some more of the purple iridescent mica purple iridescent resin mixture into this other mold. I think I'm going to speed up some of this because quite a bit of it is just me pouring, and I don't think you want to see me just pouring. So I poured quite a bit in. Well, you would have seen all of the molds that I intended to fill, and that's what I do with the project. So I am going to speed up some of it until, well, if there are any interesting bits, like when the resin started to harden, I will slow that down so that you can you can see the the mess that I made, or the mess that I make in doing all of this. Yeah, some parts of this project was pretty messy, and well, it wasn't excessively messy, but it was challenging. Some parts, some sections, especially this early part here, when I mixed up that larger cup of resin. Right now, there are some resin sitting in the bigger measuring cup that I used to mix, and that is heating up right as I'm doing this right now. So I'm gonna speed up right here, and then I will show you. I'll slow down for the interesting parts. All right, so I'm slowing it down here just to show you what happened. So there's some mess right there. I, I have no idea what happened. I don't remember exactly how I spilled that mess, but I did. But it wasn't too bad because my tray was clean, and so I just scraped as much of it back into the cup that I could. Yeah, and that slowed me down some more because I tried to clean up before it gets to. I didn't want to leave it there, and then it ruins that tray. So that slowed me down a lot there. All right, so what I'm doing here, I added some more iridescent powder to the resin that was well, I need to color the resin that was in the cup. So I added some more iridescent powder, some blue iridescent powder to the resin that was in the cup that I'd mixed previously. And then I mixed that out and then I added the new resin to it. So I did what I realized that I should have done. And right now, so the resin does look like it's pretty liquid, but it was hot. It was very hot. It was hot to the touch. And so I felt like it was 1 minute away from from curing. And there I am trying to scrape out as much of it as possible in the cup. And then and that was a waste of time because I ended up running into trouble and that slowed down. You see, with when you're working with resin and it gets hot, every second counts. Every second is important. So you're going to see me doing some pours and it's gonna look normal, but then it's gonna get messy really quick. So I'm just gonna speed up again and then slow down when things go e-wired to just tell you what's going on. All right, you guys, so I'm pouring away, and this is where it starts to get really messy, and I realize that I don't have a lot of working time with it. So instead of trying to pour into individual cups, I just started to just pour it all over the molds, and with the intention, of course, of using the little popsicle stick to scrape it into the molds, into the different cavities. So this is really messy, and there I am trying to shake down the resin into the mold, kind of vibrate it to release any bubbles that might be trapped. Well, that were trapped because I was seeing bubbles and I was concerned about what was happening. And even so, I was still there handling the resin with my fingers, even though it was hot. You know, yeah. So it goes when you're in a bind, you do crazy things. But this was the hardest part of the whole project, and it happened because I mixed up more resin than I should have. I mixed more resin than I should have mixed. But this was the first batch, so I learned from this mistake. And so going forward for the rest of the project, I only used those cups, the small cups, and I mixed them one at a time. And I finished, completed each one and cleaned up before doing another one. So that was the end of that mess. It's time to clean up. And yeah, so as the more you do something, the better you become at it. I mean, that's natural. And so I learned from my earlier mistakes, and right now I'm trying to burst bubbles. Oh boy, I was so determined to make this work, and I did. Spoiler alert, it turned out fine. So that's the one thing that I will have to say about resin is that it resin can be very stressful, especially when resin starts to harden on you. It can be stressful, but I do find that resin is one of those things that is forgiving, in that it's it's kind of hard to get something that you have to throw away. You know, like the result is so bad that you have to throw it away. So I find that resin is forgiving. I don't know what your experience is if it is that you um, are already doing resin, but my experience is that it is forgiving. So yeah, so this is me for the rest of the time trying to clean up. Oh yeah, this is me doing some cleaning up. So I find that when the resin has thickened up a bit, it is a lot easier to just scoop off the any excess and scrape it into the cup, and then even use that excess to top up another cavity that is deficient, you know, that needs a little bit more to be added to it. So cleaning up when the resin is a bit thickened, that works well. So here I am doing more cleaning up. So I did this for the rest of the project. So between each pour, I made sure that I cleaned, and I also make sure that I didn't need to do this, but I was very alert to how many more molds needed to be filled, because I feel like after this first batch, not a lot was filled, and it did get a little bit demotivating. But you know, when you set out to do something, I was so determined to complete this project today that it took the entire day to do it, but I felt so good at the end of it, and I felt even better the next day when I saw the results. So keep pressing on, and there I am using alcohol ink and even cleaning off the flowers off of my wallpaper, which well, it's expected, because if when working with alcohol ink and inks, it's going to cause some disturbance. So there I am again. I'm going through again and doing more cleaning. So this took quite a bit of time too. So if it wasn't for all the cleaning in between and the my attempts to make sure that I didn't have a lot of cleanup to do at the end, that is after the resin has cured, the project would not have taken so long. So here I am showing you now how it is that you can mark your cups, your silicone cups, to make the measuring lines more visible. Just use a marker to mark over them. That's simple. So here I am going, and I'm doing one batch at a time. So the in this second round, I'm using the smaller cup, and I am going in with the black pigment, solid resin pigment. I was going to use the mica powder, the black mica powder, but I found this pigment because when I was searching for my favorite glitter, I found this pigment, and so I decided to use it instead of the mica powder. As you can see, I also took a smaller pour cup to make the pour less messy. And here I am pouring, I'm starting to pour the black resin. I missed a crucial step, and now I'm just remembering that I should have sprayed the cavities with alcohol ink before to kind of, mm, yeah, I should have sprayed the cavities with alcohol ink before to sort of melt the mica powder before pouring in the resin on it. But I am remembering, thankfully I remembered it before starting to pour in this mold that has so many different pieces. And as I shifted the camera, it got blurry, and so I just had to cut that part out. And this is it. So that cup was able to do just that amount in the in that mold there. Just what you're seeing on camera. I ended up mixing up a different set of black to do the other molds that are not in the shot. And here I had a little boo-boo in that a little a little bit of black fell on that other piece there, and it was so difficult to get it out because the resin had already started to thicken to the point where it got stringy, and it was one it was it, it was a little bit challenging to deal with that. So this is the second batch of black that I was mixing up, so I needed to complete the molds that are on the frame and then to move to the other molds that need black resin in them. So I ended up using more than just the two set of black. I had to mix up another one later on. But after this set of black, I shifted and I did another purple, I believe, and then I did another blue. But that's how I did. So I won't be showing you everything all of the pour, but you get the idea. Mix up the resin with the pigment and just pour. It's like that. And I try to remember to spray the ones that has in the mica powder. I try to remember to spray them with the alcohol ink before pouring the resin on it. Alright, so this is everything now. So this is at the end of the day, and I'm showing you all of the molds that were poured. It's now after 6 p.m. It's sometime after 6 p.m. or minutes to 7 p.m. So it was late. This project took basically the whole day. I started sometime after. So I started initially about 8 o'clock. Then I spent some time to put the mica powder in the trays that I wanted to put those in with the black backing. And but I did take a break. Well, at in the morning I couldn't film because my phone needed charging. So I did divert my attention from resin to doing other things. But then I also remember that I needed to put the mica powder in the mold, in some of the molds at least. So I came back. I'm not sure what time I came back, but I know I definitely started to film again about 11 o'clock. And so this is six, 6 or 7 hours after I started to film again. So yeah, it was a long day, and this is everything. You're able to see the iridescent look on those pieces a while ago. Maybe it's the lighting. Maybe the lighting is the issue. But yeah, this is how it all looked, and yeah. So in incoming is the unmolding. Hi everybody. So it is 11 a.m. the next day. So everything should be well cured and ready to unmold. So I'm just giving you an overview of everything before I set up the camera. And then this is the last setup there. So I'm excited to see what things look like. So I'm gonna set up the camera now, and then I will just go through. Yeah, I will set up the yeah. So I've set up the camera, and I will unmold and show you what we got. Alrighty. So remember this? I put this label here so that I can well, so that it makes it easier for me to know what is in what. But I mean, I don't think it was possible to mess it up because it's pretty obvious what is what. So I think we should start with this. So I want to show you to that we got some extras from what was left back yesterday. So yeah, this. Oh yeah, this is a pretty significant point now because this is the only extras that we got. I didn't have these molds out originally, but I got these as extras. So it's not a lot of leftover resin from the last batch. So let's get right into it. No, I'm not seeing much. This is a purple. Oh no, it has air bubbles. It has some air bubbles at the back part and also at the front. So that's not good. That's not good. Oh, this one is not, well, I'm not seeing the air bubbles. I mean, I'm seeing the iridescent look, but it's not super pretty. That maybe the mold looks like it is not very shiny. 'Cause I'm seeing two different surfaces or two different sheens here, so maybe that's a factor. Anyways, let's press on with these air bubbles. These molds are kind of deep though, so maybe that is to be expected. I don't know. So let me just unmold these and then get back to you. This is prettier for sure. The blue is prettier than the purple, and you can definitely see the mica powder. The mica powder wasn't mixed properly, so I can definitely see that. Well, that's not a problem in and of itself because it's part of the pattern, I think, part of the overall finish. What I have a problem with are the bubbles. Yeah, a lot of bubbles. Bubbles. All of the blue ones so far have bubbles. Have your bubbles. And I know it's not the thickness, how thick the resin was at the time that I poured it in the trays. Oh, this is so cute. This one has purple and blue. I can see the purple and I can see the blue in it. And I'm not seeing any air bubbles, so that's pretty cool. This one is, I hope it's visible. This is perfect. This is perfect. I can see the blue and the purple. Perfect. Create a separate group. So let's consolidate these. Bring them closer together. Alright, so let's start our new little group. I hope all the purples come out nice. Oh, this one is nice too. This is a mix of the purple and the blue. Why are these, unless these were poured right after I mixed the resin, because these don't have any air bubbles so far. And I am seeing the purple and the blue in each one. So that's nice. No air bubbles. Air bubbles, air bubbles. This one has a tiny little two tiny air bubbles right here and right there. It's hardly noticeable. So that one's good too. Okay, so I see a couple air bubbles on this one. I'm wondering if I had sprayed alcohol in these ones. I'm seeing air bubbles on these. If I've sprayed alcohol before pouring the resin, because that will, I think, affect the number of air bubbles that get trapped. But the fact that these, most of these, this one I said had two little air bubbles, but the most of these, this one has an air bubble too. Most of these, so yeah, most of these do not have air bubbles, so it's not the mold that's the problem. It's how I poured it. Now this one is really interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the black ones look like. Oh, oh, this is nice. So what did I do with this? Oh my gosh, I'm seeing the iridescent colors, So I put the mica powders in it, the iridescent mica colors. I'm seeing them. I'm definitely seeing them. I'm seeing a little bit of green. I'm seeing a little blue, a little purple. And I'm not seeing air bubbles. So that is cool. I also added glitter. Did I also add glitter? Oh yes, I did. So these ones are nice. I wonder if you're able to see the little subtle. It's very subtle. I expected the white to be subtle, so but I am seeing it. It's bright enough to be visible. Nice. And I'm not, they don't have any air bubbles. Oh, you know why these wouldn't have air bubbles? Because I would have sprayed it with alcohol before pouring. So whenever I'm using whatever molds, again, especially the deep ones, I need to remember to do that. This is so pretty. And I'm seeing a little bit of blobbing, but it doesn't look like bad. It just looks like part of the whole design. Oh, it's so cute. These are really nice. I'm I don't know if the camera is picking up the full spectrum of it, but it is really really nice. I wish it was. It's hard to tell, especially if you look at it from the side. Let me see if I can hold it sideways for you to get a. Oh, it's hard to tell. I'll take photos to show you what they look like from the side. Now this one, this is the moment of truth. I expect this to look like this, but brighter. All right. Okay. It doesn't. It's not really giving nebula, is it? It's not really giving nebula, but it's alright. What do you think? And I'm seeing air bubbles, trapped bubbles. All right. I don't know. Is it? Is it? This one is nice. Did I put alcohol in these ones? Oh, this one is nice. No. Yeah, it looks like it has a lot of color on it, so there's hardly any black showing through the tip of it. Yeah, hardly any black showing at the front, so it just looks. I don't know. I like it, but it's not what I was going for, I would say. But it's fine. Oh, this one is interesting. This one's interesting to say the least. But that is what we have. What do you think? So my favorite, honestly, is the white ones. Not just because they don't have any air bubbles, but also because the subtle, so the white ones look like this on the very, very, you can't see it. It's not bright. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna have a look at these ones. Oh, maybe I should do these ones. All right. So this one has a more nebula look, except for that big old glitter right there. This one has a more nebula look. Look at this. I love, love, love this. Oh, yeah. These ones are more what I was going for. Oh, Lordy. I love that too. So what I did, I put the colors in the resin, and then I added, you know what, I don't remember. I can't remember if this one is color shifting or just the regular color. Maybe I need to watch back the video to see if for these this set, no, it would seem that is just the regular mica powder. The ones that I did with the heart, I know that I definitely used the color shifting resin, I mean color shifting mica powder for those ones. But these ones with the regular mica powder, they look really, really nice. I think so. I think these ones are regular mica powder. I need to confirm, but I love that. This is beautiful too, except for that big glitter right there. I don't like that at all. But yeah, these are these are I love these. I love these. And let us look at these. Let's see. This is my first time using this mold. Oh. And you know something I will say, yesterday when I was on my break, I realized that I had not thought about where or how I'm going to store these. I just think of is making batch pieces to have them available so that whenever I want to make some earrings, I have them readily available. These are nice. I think I use, did I use color? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did the color shifting for these. So maybe these are also color shifting. Yeah. So I didn't think of where or how I'm going to store them. But that won't be a problem still. I'm just telling you that, sometimes we say we're going to do something and we don't think it all the way through first, but we'll figure it out. How are these looking so far? Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are color shifting. This is a good mold. I bought 3 molds. This one is from Amazon. I bought 3 molds to compare them, and I did. You can watch the video on that. Um, I bought it. Oh no, look at this. This one was not filled all the way up. It's gonna be a little problem because it matches with this piece here. And that was filled all the way up. Oh well. So this not filled all the way up, and then a couple of them. Oh, this not filled all the way up either, but this is much better than this one. But there are a couple of them that are filled too much. Yeah, that's what happens when you do too much. All right. What was I saying? Yeah, I made this I bought 3 of these molds. I saw them coming up in my feed, and I said, you know what? Let me see if it's the same mold. And lo and behold, it's the same mold. So you can go and watch my review of those 3 purchases. So yeah. All right. So I think I've seen enough of these, and I love them. They don't really match though. Look how different these are. Look how different these are for an earring. Hmm? They're kind of similar, but they're so different. Again, these two are different, but I mean they're not terribly off. These two look similar. These two don't look I mean, they all kind of look similar, but not really. Like the blue pattern on this one doesn't really look like that one. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I can always use some of them for just for necklaces. I can use some of them to be like the little trinket thingy on the necklace. Yeah, these are nice. All right, you guys. So this is what all of these are looking like. Um, I love them. I really do love them. And if you are new to resin or anything like that, this is, there are so many easy, so easy resin projects to do that just it feels like you get a deal with it because it's so easy to do, and the results come out looking just stunning and amazing. And then there are others that are harder to do, and when you're finished, the results are can be lukewarm if you get it right any at all. So I always like going for these easier ones where it just feels like you get a deal, because it's so hard to mess up. Because all I did, I put the powder in the cavities and then spritz it with the alcohol. Some of them were not even spritzed properly, if that's a word. And look at them; they look really nice. I feel like there are some of them like these ones where that there was a blob of powder there, but I just love how it looks. So after the resin or maybe the alcohol ink interacts with the powder, it softens it, and it creates like a little like a dulling towards the perimeter or the border of the blob. So it just gives it a really nice look. Like this part, it looks a little bright and then it just dulls out, almost like light. So I love that. I love that. So I'm gonna. The background here is messy, so you're not really seeing the full beauty of it. It's kind of competing with it. So I am going at the end of it, I'll put all of them on trays, and then I'll show them to you, give you a better overall look. But I'm sure you can see the beauty of these, so I will continue to unmold and then show you what they look like. Oh, while we're here, and this is right here and so easy. Ah, so I did this with white and alcohol ink. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Yeah, I use alcohol ink and the white resin mix. Not bad. Okay, so I'll continue to unmold them and then I'll show you. All right, I was about to show you these pendants. Ah, look at this. This does look nebula, not you? Yeah, the white ones. I don't suspect the white ones will look um very pronounced, but that'll be interesting to see. And again, it's looking like these ones. You see the pattern there, but it's so very hard to it's hard to pick up. So I'm seeing the pattern in the camera, but you're not really seeing the colors. But the different colors are there. So green, blue, I'm seeing purple to both sides. The blue is from up here to down the bottom. So the blue runs this way. There's purple on the sides, and then see a little green and a little green. So it looks really nice. Looks so nice as a pendant. This one is just the iridescent purple. Interesting pattern. The powder wasn't mixed out properly. I think I mentioned yesterday, I don't know if I was coming across while I was working, because the mask made me sound very muffled, and I'm not comfortable working without mask even when I want to talk. So I think I was saying that what would be easier or better to do with the resin in order to get the mica powder to mix out properly is to put a little bit of resin in the cup first and then mix that out with the mica powder and then add the rest of the resin to it. I think it'll be so much easier to mix it that way. And this is the last of these. Ooh, these pendants. This is gorgeous. My goodness, I love the, my gosh, the black backing is everything, you guys. So this one is purple and iridescent, and this one is white with this. I love them. I love all of them. These are more subtle, and I am seeing a little bit of scratching on the surface of the piece, which tells me that the mold is not perfect. The molds are not perfect, and yesterday was the first time that I used them, so but that can easily be corrected by just putting a layer, dipping it in some UV resin and curing it. But aren't these gorgeous? So I will unmold some more and come back and show you. All right, you guys. So it is now a few minutes after 4 p.m. So I had to take a break and go to take care of some stuff. But I'm back now to unmold the rest of the pieces that I made yesterday. So I feel like I need to show this to you because this, I had a particularly difficult time pouring the resin into this mold because yes, this was part of the first batch and the resin was thickening up a lot. So for like all of these parts that look messy, all of these parts, the resin was thickening up. So I did have a bit of a difficult time getting the resin into the mold, so I do expect to see quite a bit of bubbles in them. In looking at them, I can see bubbles under here. I see bubbles right here, bubbles right there. I don't know if you're able to see it, but I wasn't able to completely fill the mold at the time. But so when I mixed up another batch, I filled the mold. So we had some smooth ones that were poured in with no difficulty. But I feel like I need to show you guys what these look like. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. This is pretty. The cleanup for these ones are, well, so far, this is the first one. It's easy. It was easy to just trim the rim with my fingers. But look at this. I hope you're able to see. It is looking really pretty. You're able to see just a little bit. It looks really, really nice. That's nice. And I'm not seeing any air bubbles there. So hopefully they all come out like that. Okay, I think I see a little. Is that an air bubble? There's the tiniest bit of air bubble right there and right there. It's so shallow though. You know this iridescent color. I wonder if no, I don't think I had put any colors in this, any mica powder down first. I don't think I did. But I'm seeing a little bit of green as I shift it. Anyways, looking nice. Let me open the rest of them. I'm seeing a little bit of air bubbles. Let me just open. I'm seeing some tiny air bubbles. They're so tiny. It's oh, this is easy. I wonder if I can just pop them all out like this. That's a new way to get stuff out of molds, you guys. Oh no, I should never do that because they didn't all come up from the same place. So I have to find the matching pairs for them now. Alright. That looks good. That looks good. I think these two are a match. These two are a match. And these two are a match. Uh-oh. Oh. I thought it was messed up, but it's on the top of it. Okay, you know what? Let me just unmold everything and then I will update you. So I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to all my new subscribers, and I especially want to thank my returning supporters. So I want to give a massive shout out to Jachka. When during my break, my long break, she sent a message which was most encouraging. One of the reasons why I'm here, feeling that, you know what, let's just not give up on this YouTube thing. So big up Jajka. And I also want to shout out to Celine. Thank you so much. The Jajka and Celine are my two top um, commenters on the channel, biggest supporters, I would say. So thank you so much, girls. But a massive shout out to everyone. Thank you so much. All of you. You didn't have to spend your time here, but here you are, and I appreciate it. Also, if you are new here and you want to see my next massive resin sessions, and also if you want to see me actually make these pieces into jewelry, then please stick around. Consider subscribing because it will help me to grow. It will help us to grow here. So thank you, one and all. Okay, you guys. So I definitely am seeing some bubbles, but to be honest with you, I'm very surprised that they aren't much more, because this is just one bubble. Yeah, just one bubble on this one from that set, and then look at these two. These two has bubbles. So bubbles to the back right there, and there's a bubble on top. Oh, this one has a little bit more bubbles. So this one has a few bubbles. But again, still not that not that many. I'm gonna clean these up afterwards. If I had done it earlier, it would have been a lot easier to just break these off. Because the resin, oh, even though the resin solidifies, it continues to cure, until it is fully cured. I'm not sure how long for it to be fully cured, but it does. Even after unmolding them and handling them, still continues to cure. That's why I like to wear gloves. But these are a lot firmer than the ones that I looked at this morning, the ones that I unmolded early in the day. It's not that long ago. But yeah, we got a few bubbles right here as well. But again, not anything that is too hard unattractive, it's hardly noticeable. So yeah, and then the front of them, this one I notice at the front, this one and this one. Uh I'm not seeing any more that has any bubbles at the very at the front. So not many, only a couple bubbles were it. And again, it's so hard to see the bubble. You have to look at the piece at an angle to tell that there's bubbles there. But yeah, I love them. I do want to point out something though. So I can see without a doubt that the set that I poured last, these smooth ones are from the set that I poured last. And oh, I'm seeing a bubble right here under this one. So that's a little surprising because the resin wasn't hardening at that time when I poured it. But anyways, what I wanted to show you is that iridescent the iridescent effect, it's way more noticeable in the batch of resin that I did first. So it seems like I added more iridescent powder to it. Let me see if you're noticing it. It's yeah, it's way more noticeable in these ones. And so thankfully most of them are from the first batch. So that is something that I will note in the future. Because even this one, this one got a little bit of the first batch in the mold, and I'm seeing the difference with right there and right here. I mean, it's still pretty, but it definitely doesn't have the any much pattern or swirl or anything like that. Let me shift the curtain to see if it can. Oh no, no, that's not helping. But yeah.